let's go to the studio. As we enter, we'll see all about the bass, little paperwork. This is my quote-unquote signature guitar. I took the idea from my good friend Thomas Nordig, just to commemorate all the events that I've worked with these artists and stuff. You know, who we got? Vi, my good friend Doug Doppler, Petrucci, there's Thomas, Stevick, Mike Mangini, Zach Wild, Rusty Cooley, bunch of cool people in there, Larry Mitchell, of course. Lots of a clock that don't work. Cables, could never have enough cables. Enough of that jazz. What you guys really want to see? The studio. Ooh, blinded by neon. Anyways, this is the main room. I guess we could call it the control room for now. These rooms, kind of had an idea that they'll be temporary till I could construct some separate rooms. But yeah, we got the floors recently replaced. We had a flood downstairs while we were in Asia. The water heater broke, so decided to redo all the floors. But anywho, let's go take a tour around the room. Start on the left, got a Spider 5240 HC. Cool little amp, and it's not just an amp, it's an amp head for a half stack, but unlike others, this actually has stereo speakers in it. And it makes a great practice amp, especially with the built-in wireless receiver. So I'll actually turn it on here. Usually I leave it running, but I've been out of here for a little bit. So yeah, the transmitter automatically pairs, pull it out, plug it into your guitar, silent switching, it's great. But this is probably one of my most used guitar amps because it's just so convenient and it's great for practice. When I'm done, just dock the transmitter, it charges itself. Got all my effects and presets and things here. If I need to, I could plug headphones in, but this thing sounds good quiet, sounds good loud, and that's that. Anywho, just some miscellaneous, there's a bunch of headphones in there, some miscellaneous guitar technology stuff in there. Another keyboard controller. This is, usually I have a lot of 88 note keyboard controllers, so this is the more portable one. It's quite versatile, you know, with the pads, the wheels, the ribbon faders there. Great little keyboard. Sometimes this is over there when I'm doing mixing and stuff and I just need more space, so I take the 88 note off and I put this on. But yeah, guitars. So I'll probably do more in-depth videos on all this gear at some point, but just give you the summary in this studio tour. So this whole room is nothing nothing but Ibanez, pretty much, at least on the walls. But just quickly going through it, these 6 here up to that one, and these 2 over here are all from the 25th anniversary collection of RGs, and of course the S are in the other 2. So yeah, this is every color and model they made for the 25th anniversary. Of course I didn't get them all at once, but yeah, once I got some, I was like, oh, I only need one more to get the other, you know, there's only 2 colors of each model, so I was like, oh, I'll get this one, and oh, this one came up on Reverb, so I'll pick that up too. And then I got so close, I was like, oh, I might as well just finish the collection. But you can tell I like bright fluorescent things. But anyway, they're all super cool. Like I said, I'll go in depth of all the gear another time, but yeah, just wanted to give you guys a bit of a studio tour. I keep the printer in here for you know, the times I actually need to use papers. Some straps there, which I need to attach. They're the DiMarzio clip lock straps. I need to attach those to some of these. Some beautiful pictures of my wife and I there, trips and stuff. Nice old school Line 6 pod in there. It's a special one. I'll bust it out at some point. Whole bunch of vinyl there. Lots of Dream Theater vinyl and some other stuff. More vinyl in the other room. This used to be my mobile rig. Now it's kind of a house for rack gear that isn't currently in use. And these two RGs are 20th anniversary RGs. And those of you Ibanez fans out there will know that these 20ths they're made in Japan. They're slightly better than the 25ths here. These are made in Indonesia. Not to knock Indonesian guitars, there's some great ones out there. But this one, the guy got it from, I had already customized it with some new pickups and a special, you can't really see it in this angle, but diamond plate looking pick guard there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we'll move on to Steve Weiland here. Obviously a fan of his, but got a 30th anniversary gem, almost said RG, but obviously it's a gem. So 30th, 20th, and then this Rock Mirror, aka Bad Horsey gem, which I played on stage with Steve about, I don't know, a year and a half ago in Palm Springs and had him name it for me, and he decided to name it Natasha. So yeah, that's her name. And we've got, if you'll notice, it's a purposeful pattern here. The top three are 6 strings and gems, and the bottom 3 are 7-string universes. That was intentional. So this one's actually a reissue of the UV7BK. So this is the premium made in Indonesia model. Got it in like 2012 when I think that's when they started doing the premiums. And yeah, my old coworker had an original from like 91, and while his played amazingly, it was quite beat up, but still played great. And for me, I'm not, you know, a massive shredder as much as I'd like to be, but I think to be able to get one brand new for what, $1,400-$1,500 was a pretty good deal, and I thought it felt pretty good for the price, pretty close to the original. We've got another universe here with the cool pyramid symbol there. You can see myself. Hi, self. Yeah, so that's cool. I believe that one is a 2011 model. They changed the trims a bit throughout the few years those were made. And like I said before, the 20th, which is really cool because it lights up, but it's heavy as sin. And we've got the 25th anniversary of Passion and Warfare universe. There were 3 of them. Passion, Warfare, which is this one, and then a silver one, which I'd really like to get, but they're ungodly expensive. This was the last one that Sweetwater had, so I got a pretty good deal on it. Still ungodly expensive, but it plays like a dream. Speaking of dreams, here is John Petrucci's 90th Hoshino anniversary model when he used to be with Ibanez. Of course, now he's with Ernie Ball Music Man. But this is the JPM 190 ham, or I forget how the exact model number goes. I used to remember because while I was hunting for these, but once I got one I forgot. So I always wanted a JPM, and they're amazing. And my buddy Daniel at the Petrucci camp who's an amazing guy. Go check out his YouTube channel, Daniel Berserk. Amazing player, shredder galore, and he's taught John a few things, as you'll check out on his channel. But he has an original P1 and love it. And shortly thereafter, I was like, I gotta get one, and found this from a guy in Canada in near mint condition, so I couldn't pass it up. But yeah, then moving over to the rest of our Ibanez artists here. Got a 30th anniversary Chrome Boy, which is amazing. Thomas, as I mentioned before, good friend of mine, had always told me, "Oh, you got to get a sustainer. You got to get a sustainer." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't play like Vi and Satch and those guys. So what am I gonna do with it?" This came obviously with the Sustainiac in the neck position there, and now I want a sustainer on every single guitar because it's amazing. And of course, this is the premium model of the Surfing with the Alien guitar, because as you can see, the Alien's not 3D there, or the Silver Surfer, I should say, the Alien. But that model was really expensive, so this one is the less expensive model, hence why I have it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a house to put all these in. But yeah, there's the 25th anniversary S-bodies. Interestingly enough, with those, this is the first time I had an S-series Ibanez, and once I got one, I fell in love with it and kicked myself for never trying one before and wondering why I'd been obsessed with RGs all these years, which of course RGs are fantastic instruments, but I like small and light, and those are amazing. But yeah, continue around the room here. Got Roland V-Synth GT, which is an amazing piece of sound design equipment. We got the Korg M3. Currently those are obviously flattened down, but usually I have them tilted up. Korg M3 with the Radius installed, and this M3 actually has the Radius expansion board. Both of those are hooked up to this key bed, so out of all my keyboards, which I love them all, if I had to pick one to take on a gig that could do anything and everything, it'd be this right here. Super powerful, way lighter than this, even with the Radius in there. And I've taken it out on gigs and it's been fantastic. So going down here, you can see I left those out to remind myself I need to restring one of my guitars, but got a Kurzweil K2600 X here. So not the XS that had the sampling option, because I don't need to sample, but amazing keyboard, amazing sounds still to this day. And I love the giant ribbon controller on it. I wish more keyboards had that. But it's very heavy. I took it out once for an audition for a band and vowed never to take it out again if I could help it. So I don't have roadies, so yeah, kind of a pain. And that was even without a case. It's heavy as heck. Yeah, I got some Roland 2.1 system going on there. Nice Roland AX7 keytar. As you'll find out, I'm a keytar fanatic, so love that one. And a latest edition here, a Nags Larry Mitchell replica of his #1, hand built in Maryland. Amazing axe. Check out my other video on that. Got Power Cab 112 Plus and 112 here under their protective covers, because I had them out in the garage, just brought them back up. But amazing pieces of gear as well. Over here is Variax Land. Got Variax 700, JTV 89F, JTV 69, a special JTV 69, which I'll go into detail in on another video. And then I've got 2 JTV 59s there, and some Shurikens back there in those Shuriken gig bags. So yeah, moving over to mission control here. Just wake up the machine. You can see I mainly run everything into Pro Tools at the end of the day, but also run Reason, Ableton Live, starting to get into Logic because man, that is such a value for what you get. Yeah, and run some other audio programs as well, but yeah, everything pretty much funnels into Pro Tools at one point or another, mainly because I've just been so involved in it for so many years, since I think version 6.7, going back that far, and have, you know, certified in it, teached it, you know, or taught it, I should say. So it's just my workflow. I'm so much faster there, although I really want to get better at things like Logic, so maybe I don't have to renew my subscription, which is actually expired right now. But yeah, and then you got the Native Instruments Complete Control 88. This is the first generation here. I'd love to get the second gen with the more in-depth screens, but this one's working out great for now. I wanted this for the longest time, and I was using Machina to operate the whole complete library with a keyboard beside it, waiting for something like this. So this has become my master keyboard now. Great keyboard and great controller. So for interfacing here, I've recently switched, and by recently I mean like a year and a half ago or something. Sometime last year, I got this Motu 828 ES Thunderbolt interface, which has been working out great. It's got a couple mic pre's in the front, lots of I/O on the back, and just running well. MIDI Express 128, which I really don't have anything cabled up to right now, but the keyboard rack you saw earlier will be cabled up to it. This custom patch bay that I made many moons ago to work with my 002 back in the day. You can see my name there, Roylee Records, company name anyway. And 1/4-inch patch bay. I have a 96 point, but didn't quite need it here. And then we've got a benchmark DAC1 for the output to these nice JBL 4328P monitors, and you can see it under there, the 4310, I think it is, subwoofer to go with it. Great speakers, now discontinued, but still sound great. So yeah, this is, oh, hold on, I did forget what's behind the curtain. Nothing too interesting or exciting. Some file folders, my Reunion Blues gig bag, double gig bag I should say, for when I need to take guitars out. Love that bag. These bins are all cables, so I've got power, XLR, 1/4-inch, like data USB, and then some other stuff, miscellaneous, some other controllers, some mini controllers, some old Glyph hard drives, some glasses that I probably took from one of those Universal 3D rides, a bunch of pedals that don't get a whole lot of use, though that one I have another video on, you should check that out. Some rack gear that's not currently in use but is awesome enough that I don't want to let it go, like this Electrics repeater, and some miscellaneous stuff, and oh yeah, some more Shuriken guitars. So let's move over to the other room. All right, so this is what I consider to be the live room. Nice. Starting here, Washburn P2, cool black sparkle. Played, it's based off Nuno's P4 model that he played for a bit of time, I believe in Population 1. But yeah, representing Hudson, Massachusetts, Nuno Betancourt. Amazing player, one of my favorite guitarists, obviously. Fellow Mass native, And yeah, I love his sound, I love his gear, and he's just a great guy. So we've got, I'll just cover the guitars first. We've got N4 Authentic, trying to keep all those model names straight. N7, obviously, another N4 that was only released in Japan, but I happened to get it a while back. It's I think it's MNW or something is the suffix, but you can see the Mourning Widows inlay there. And another N7 with a custom paint job, bought off a good friend Earl, who is also a Washburn artist at some point. And yeah, amazing guitar there. Then just to round out the collection, these were actually, I initially bought these two just because they were the only ones that had the inlays before I could get my hands on one of those. But these are both N2s. One's made in China, one's made in Korea, so the inlays are a bit different. An N1 in flat black, just because I wanted an N4 in flat black and they don't make them. So anyway, it's actually a really great guitar for $100. Then got the EA20 SNB, I believe the model. It's like the Nuno Betancourt signature acoustic. Not quite as cool as the old EA, I think it was 25, the Platinum Edition black one that he did Midnight Express and I believe More Than Words and all those other cool acoustic tunes he does. I'd love to get one of those one day. Let's finish this wall since we're facing here. Got the Randall NB King 100 amp and cab, so the half stack. One of my favorite amps ever. In fact, all these amps, even though I don't really use amps that much, are just, they're here because they're my favorite amps and I don't really need anything else. If I need a tube amp, any one of these in here will cover it. But this thing is great. Amazing cleans, amazing overdrives. And then its little brother here, the NB King 112 combo. And behind it, we've got a Line 6 DT50 half stack. And I've got a few backups of those in the shed. And then the PV JSX, Joe Satriani amp here, and a Korg Karma on top because I had nowhere else safe to put it. Some DJ gear and turntables in the corner, a bunch of Korg stuff that I'm going to be doing some unboxing videos of soon. We've got a Yamaha FG180 50th anniversary model. Amazing acoustic. That actually came all the way from a dealer in Australia because they had no more in the US and that was the only place I could find one. Casey's Rock Shop. So for those of you in the, I believe they're in Melbourne or somewhere in that area, they're amazing dealers, amazing guys. They hand carried that to NAMM for me and hand delivered it to my booth. So awesome guys. As soon as I pulled it out of the case, it sounded like a dream. Loved it. Still love it. So then I've got a thin line Cordoba classical. I think it's the C5E, something like that, but it's a thin line, thin body. It's missing a string because one just broke and I don't have any extra nylon strings, so I'll need to get some more. Some more paperwork there. And then we've got, moving on to this wall, guess who? John Petrucci. So we've got 3 Sterling models and 3 Ernie Ball Music Man models. We got the Sterling JP160D because it came stock with those DiMarzios. It was a Sweetwater exclusive, and you can kind of see John's signature on there in gold. But yeah, basically based off his JP6, and none of the Sterlings have the piezos, so that's pretty much the only exception. But that was the first Petrucci model I bought and was so impressed I sought out for more. I've got the 170 7-string version of that in matte black. That was a Guitar Center exclusive finish. So funny, Sweetwater exclusive, Guitar Center exclusive. So sometimes you just gotta go to the place that has what you want. And then, oh sorry, this was the other Sterling model here. This is the Sterling version of the Majesty. Again, no piezo, but I wanted a Majesty so bad, couldn't afford it at the time. Not that I could really ever afford it if I was, thinking conservatively, but was so impressed by this that I was like, oh man, if this feels so good for like, what is it, $800, then the Ernie Ball models just must be amazing, and of course they are. So Sterling Majesty, but before we go off to the others, I've got the Ernie Ball Music Man JP 16. So this one is the only one they did with a Floyd. All the rest have Ernie Ball trims. But yeah, that was cool. Got it from Sam Ash. Shout out to Sammy Ash. Awesome dude. Yeah, then we've got the 2 Ernie Ball Music Man Majesties. This is the Mystic Dream color changing, which I had John sign when I was working the Petrucci camp. Amazing guitar. Loved the satin finish. And at that camp, John had his, what he calls the Princess, which is this model. And it just blew me away, the look of it in person. And as you know, I like flashy, hot pinks and bright colors, unless I like matte black. So I go from one extreme to the next, matte black or something flashy. But one of the other campers, my friend Kevin Hernandez, had this guitar at the camp, and he let me play it, and I was so impressed that I'm like, man, I need to get one of those. They only made like, I think 75 of them or 74. John probably has the other one. And a few weeks later, lying in bed, and was like, oh, let me just see what's out there, and happened to find one. And it was in brand new condition. Guy sold it to me for, what the retail price was. So I think he could have asked for more since they're so rare, but I got lucky on that one. So yeah, moving along. My DJ setup there. Won't go into all the pieces of gear, but obviously tractor based. And those were my actually first set of really good turntables that I bought when I was in the Marines off of eBay. I think that was my first eBay purchase. Power Cab 212 Plus running from the Helix here, and with the Shuriken Variax SR 250 25.5 inch scale. So one cable there, one across. Super simple rig, but it's a plethora of sounds, virtually unlimited. Amazing. I mean, all these guitars and gear that I have, if I had to, I would just, this is all I need right there. In fact, all I would need is even just one of those, because this is a stereo cab. So just spoil myself with some more stuff. So yeah, underneath there is a Flextone 2 head, which was actually my first Line 6 product that I ever got. Bought it used at Guitar Center when I was back in the Marine days. B52 cab, which I got shortly thereafter. Line 6 HD 147 head, which is just the coolest looking head ever. And then underneath a Beta 2. So, yeah. We've got the bookshelf here, which behind here, as you might expect, a bunch of sheet music and songbooks and regular books and movie memorabilia and rock memorabilia from different things, different events. Yeah, little Helix backpack, the greatest gear bag ever. And over here some, what do you know, more guitars. I need another guitar, like I need a hole in the head. So that's a Dean acoustic electric. That was I actually got that in high school. It's great, love it. And speaking of Dean, over here we got a Dean Evo Special, which I also bought in high school. That was my first brand new guitar. So, and I love it. I'm not usually a fan of like a single cutaway type guitar, but that thing plays great and it's really versatile. This is another Dean custom hot pink, which if you check out my avatar on YouTube, that's the guitar that I had in Iraq, top of the Humvee. And then got some Variax standards here. These two are limited editions. This is the Onyx, that's the Amethyst. It's hard to tell in this lighting, but it's basically like kind of a blackish translucent, and that's like a translucent purple. Steinberger double neck, but it's not just any double neck. It's a 4-string bass and a 6-string guitar, and that's what the pack of strings were for, because the guitar is missing one. Oh, and a Washburn Stewham bass. It needs a little electronics work. Oh, what's behind this curtain? More keyboards. Korg Oasis, some Roland RS series, and another keyboard controller. Up there's my Yamaha Violier and Yamaha silent guitar, some blue mic pre's, and then here is the ginormous mic collection that's just kind of stowed away here, and I pull out as needed. Won't go through all of those, but we'll do a whole video on mics. Those iLoud micro monitors, which are great little travel tools. Some Crate power blocks that I just kept forever, and miscellaneous stuff. So there you have it. Tried to run through this as fast as I could. So I gotta go watch a movie with my wife and spend some family time, but wanted to get this done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for touring with me. We'll go through all of this in detail. Oh yeah, there's some Yamaha basses and Yamaha guitars back there, but we'll go through all this in detail in a lot of other videos. Obviously, there's plenty of stuff to shoot content on here, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and rock on.